Good to be with you. Just a couple quick announcements. Vacation Bible School is coming up soon. We could use some help at lunch or baking cookies or helping get kids from one class to another, and we hope that you can help out in some way. We're also responsible for the thrift store coming up soon, and there's always a sign-up sheet for that. So we are now into the season after Pentecost, and we will be sharing lots of stories in this season. The story that we have for this coming week is out of Luke. It's one of the, well, it is the longest exorcist story within the Synoptic Gospels. And because of its length, it tells us that it was significant to the early church, that they would that it would have spoken to them, and that they would have embellished the story to make it bigger, to give them more guidance in their lives. And it's somewhat of a familiar story. It begins by Jesus and the disciples in a boat going to the other side. That is, they're going to the Gentile side of the lake. And immediately when they step out of the boat, they are met with somebody who is, in the words of the scriptures, possessed. And Jesus encounters, but Jesus also engages this person. They have a conversation. He asks this person what their name is, and they respond Legion, which we take as a meaning that he's possessed by many. Right? I think there's also other meanings to that. Jesus engages, they have a conversation, even to the point where the possessed person asks permission, or the devils within ask permission where they might go, because they know Jesus has the power to cast. And Jesus gives them that permission. Jesus casts the spirits into a herd of pigs, and then the pigs run down into the lake and they all drown. And then all the people of the city come out to see what's going on. And of course, this scares them, and they tell Jesus and the disciples to leave. So Jesus and the disciples scarcely spend an hour there before their ministry drives them out, before their ministry instills fear in other people. Scarcely an hour before the love that is extended is refused. There's a lot in this story to talk about, of course. And I think this Sunday we're going to talk about how this story reflects Methodism. It reflects our history and who we are called as a people. But for this today, I just want to focus on they went to the other side. They left the traditions of the faith, right? The traditions of the faith said, stay with your own people, right? Stay within the confines of what you're called to. Stay in your lane is what we call it nowadays, right? But Jesus was not content to stay within the confines or the boundaries of tradition, not content to stay with his own people, those who were like him. And so he takes the disciples, us, right, to go to the other side, to engage others, to encounter others, to be a part of others, to take the love of God to places that don't know the love of God. So the question and part of the meditation today is, how is God calling you to go to the other side? What in your life are you stuck within some boundaries of tradition, some boundaries of your faith, some boundaries that keep you comfortable? Because we know when we cross the boundaries, we will be met with some consternation, as Jesus and the disciples would. But God calls us to go nonetheless. So what's holding you back from engaging others? What's holding you back from encountering people you've never encountered before? And how might you get to that other side? We'll see you soon.